y'all literally ignore my hair, but I was told to talk about my dream, and I was literally in the middle of fulfilling orders. So, but I was like, shit, I have to like go outside. So I'm literally just sitting in my car outside of my house right now. So let's talk about this crazy ass dream. And I wrote it down, and I brought it out here for reference because bitch, what? One of, I don't, you know, yeah, one of the craziest dreams I've ever had. I've had a lot of crazy ass dreams. Okay, this dream took 3 pages of straight writing and a few drawings, but let's see. Yes, okay, so this dream was like quite symbolic. It really starts to include the whole world and everything like halfway through. The first part is kind of about me and my life, so I'm gonna breeze through that real quick. Basically, I wonder if I can show you the picture. Me and my cats were outside of this apartment building, and my cats jumped through a second story, like straight from the ground, jumped up into a second story window. Yeah, I think that's like what I'm drawing right there. And they let me into the apartment because like there's like a staircase right here, so they jumped into this window and like went through the apartment, and like this is a bedroom, and then this was like a living room, and they like went through here and like let me in over here. But like that was so weird because what? And so then I get into the apartment. Oh, and then there were 2 versions of my cat. Holy shit, I forgot about that. Okay. Okay, this shit's crazy. Okay, so I totally forgot about this part. So there were 2 of my cats. Weird. And okay, there were 2 of my cats, and one of them passed away, I guess. And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta move this version of my cat before the new version of my cat gets here. It's gonna fuck him up. He's gonna be upset to see himself all hurt. Like what? So I turned around and asked my cat, Goose, I was like, does the former version of your body upset you? And in my head I could hear him tell me no, and that he understands its place, like its purpose. And his demeanor was inspiring, and I laid his other body to rest, right? So already starting off crazy. Now this part I really do remember more of. So then I keep going. After this whole cat part happens, I get into a bed where my partner is sleeping, and the bed is full of fucking cockroach bodies, like full. Like, I mean, every square inch has cockroaches in it. Ugh! I've never had a dream like that before. And, oh, my headphone. So I get in the bed anyways with my partner, and like literally with the cockroaches, and they're all dead. It's all like dead cockroaches. And I'm just like laying there for a minute. After a minute, I'm like, yeah, you know, I actually don't like this that much. I'm gonna go ahead and get up. And I decided to leave this apartment because I'm really confused why my dead cat was there, and why there's cockroaches in my bed, and why everybody's acting like it's normal. So this is when shit really gets fucked up. So, yeah, so I leave. I'm driving in my car, which is like literally this car, which is really funny because I feel like in a lot of dreams, my stuff isn't how it is in real life, but it was in this one. So it's like, it was this car. And I look out the window, and maybe I can like show you this picture. I look out the window and I see a bunch of, that's the door handle and stuff. That's a electric tower. And then those are boots, a bunch of like combat boots. And I'm like I'm so concerned because like I only drew 3 pairs there, but there were like 10 pairs on the ground in my dream. And I was like looking out my window like, huh? Why are there combat boots everywhere? Like, I'm just concerned about that. So I pulled over my car because I'm in a neighborhood. I wasn't driving very fast. And I get out. And when I look up, above the fucking boots is a bunch of dudes in police uniforms hanging from the power lines. Sorry. But it was really fucking disturbing at the time. So I start freaking the fuck out because I'm looking at all these bodies. And like, okay, so they were all in police uniforms, like recognizably blue police uniforms. And then they all had white bags tied tight over their head, all of them. Like, you couldn't see any of their faces. Some of the bags were like turning red, but like most of them were still white. And they were all just hanging from the power lines. So I get back in my car and I try to like, I don't even know, because I'm like, I can't call the police in a situation like this because it is the police who were killed. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna find somebody else who knows what's going on. So I get back in my car. I start driving down the road again. I'm like going around this curve. Yada yada, bip bip bip. Oh, here we go. I drew the curve. Yeah, a super curvy road, and then I see this house who has its garage open like on the cusp of a curve, right? And so I pull up, like drive past it. Don't even pull up. I'm driving past it. I look in the garage, which is open, and the inside of the garage was painted like a dark gray, which, like, I'm in Arizona and a lot of inside of garages are painted white, so that was like really weird to me. But it's painted dark gray, and the lights are like flickering, and there's like obviously electrical wire that got like ripped out of the walls or shit because there's like sparks going off, but like whatever, like the lights are flickering super bad. And inside of the garage is a row of like metal folding chairs, and in each chair is a dude in SWAT gear, and fucking written across the SWAT gear men, which they're all deceased, by the way, written across the SWAT gear men in spray paint behind the wall. At first it says, "You thought you were the law," and then across their actual bodies in white spray paint was written, "But the law can't exist with you." And I was just standing there looking at these like flickering lights and these literal dead bodies and these dudes. And I was just like, okay, so the police thing happened. The fucking SWAT team thing happened. I was like, what? Who started a revolution without telling me? Who, how, when, where, and why? Like, I mean, I think I know all of these answers, but there was no like clear lead up to this moment. And like, so literally in like straight desperation, I like asked like spirit in my dream, like in my head, in my dream, I was just like, what is happening? What happened? What happened? Like, what's going on? And like, I just heard spirit in my dream be like, the revolution has begun, but it's not your part to play like these roles. Like, it's not your part to kill these men. And that's why you don't know what's happening. And I was just like, huh? I was like, it's not my role to kill these men, girl, what? And it was just like, yeah, like this violence is not yours to have. Like, it was not meant for you to be a part of. You have other roles to play in this. You're supposed to be like speaking out about stuff. You're not supposed to be out here murdering people because like you just know that there are like better things to do than that, right? So I'm like, what the hell? So then I go to a different apartment than the first one that we started at, and my partner is there again. And then, okay, this was also just like kind of goofy, kind of a more lighthearted ending to this weird ass dream. Literally, no, I don't know. So I walk out, and this is my balcony, and then this is like a wall, but it's like only a half wall with like a bar, and then it's another person's balcony. So the balconies look in at each other. I don't know why I thought that was so fucking funny when I like when I woke up and like wrote this down. I was like, why were there balconies that only faced into each other? Like, that shit's funny. Anyways, I like go out onto the balcony to like think for a minute, and there's this kid, like, okay, yeah, I was just reading this to make sure I remember it right. There's this kid that I went to middle school with named Caden, which was like so fucking random because like I sat next to him in a lot of different classes because our last names were similar, I'm pretty sure. And he was sitting on the balcony, and like I didn't notice him at first because I had just had such a distressing day in this dream. So I'm just like sitting on the couch like, oh my god. And then I like look up, and like Caden's just sitting there on the other couch, like on the other balcony, and like scared the living shit out of me. I was like, oh my god, I did not see you there. And God, he said something to me. I'm trying to remember what it was. He apologized for startling me, but I replied, "Oh friend, you are the least of my worries in this life." And then I immediately woke up. Like, as soon, because I started like laughing, I was like, "Oh friend, you're the least of my worries in this life." And then boom, awake. Which was really weird because we were never friends. He was just this kid I went to middle school with. Like, I mean, maybe we were friends, but super weird. But yeah, so I have no idea what to make of that dream. And like, that's a lie. I kind of do. I asked quite frequently, because when did I even have this? It was like months ago. January 30th is the day I woke up and wrote this down. So since then, I've been asking for clarification on the cockroaches because, to be so honest, laying in a bed full of cockroaches was one of the most disgusting things I've ever had to do. Um, and so I've been asking for clarification on the cockroaches, and oh, and oh, I think my headphones just died. I'm sorry if the audio changes. Oh, okay. But oh my goodness. Anyways, okay, yes, the cockroaches. They, I feel like, represent people who are unwilling to change and unwilling to compromise or learn or be anything different or to evolve is kind of the best word, I guess, for that. Because I saw a video, which maybe I can find, it was honestly quite creepy. But basically it was this guy, super fucking cool too. It starts off with this streamer. It's kind of animated, but in like a realism sense. He's a streamer in his like attic, and he is a right-wing person, right? And like it shows him descending into the right-wing rabbit hole, where he's like starting off being like, well, I just believe that like I should pay less in taxes. And then it ends up being like super, I don't want to even like say conspiracy theory because I feel like that's not fair, and like a lot of conspiracies are actually like low-key true. But like he becomes one of those people who's like really, really paranoid and like making up stories about like people who are not doing anything wrong, you know what I mean? And like being prejudiced, being racist, being homophobic, all this shit. And like as he's descending into this right-wing rabbit hole, he is also turning into a cockroach, literally. So like his body is like slowly transforming, and like the first part he like grows like little wings, and then he gets like his legs get replaced, and then eventually he is just that man's head on a cockroach. And yeah, that shit's funny. And then, and like right after watching that video, I felt like I got my clarification. And then I was watching a reading by like this girl who like, I trust her vibes completely. Oop. Oh, it kept recording. Okay. I trust her vibes completely, but the vibe she reads into is what I don't trust. So this video popped up, and like I had some people that were just really jealous of me, which is really funny. I don't know. And they were trying to like fuck up my life and stuff. And so I saw this reading come up, and it was super accurate right off the bat. Like it was like naming the people that were fucking me over. And something about me told me not to listen to it. And it was just like, don't listen to this video. Like you don't need to step into this energy and like lower yourself to them. You know what I mean? And I didn't listen. I kept playing the video. And then like literally I only get like a minute or two into this video. It was already crazy accurate. It's over an hour long. And my cat walks into my room, and he's like, "Murr," and I'm like, what's up, bud? And then he drops a live cockroach at my feet. Like, we do not have cockroaches at my house. So like he must have found it, like, I don't know, maybe my neighbors did spraying and they were like migrating away. So he found one, because we've never had this issue before. But while I'm watching this reading that I was telling myself, don't watch, like this person's a bad person, you don't want to step into their energy, like not the reader of the person that was in my life before. And I didn't listen, and then my cat comes and drops a literal, oh shit, I should. Too angry. I comes and drops a literal cockroach at my feet. Huh? And we didn't even have cockroaches. Like, what? I didn't see any other ones in my house. What? Dude, I swear, that shit was crazy. So I kind of took that as like, the cockroaches in my bed, in my dream, were the people that I needed to get rid of. The people that were like sneaking into my energy. The people that were just like around to be around, and like didn't give a fuck if they fucked up my life to do so. You know what I mean? So yeah, so just another symbolic dream I wanted to share, because dude, what? Yeah, so if there's a revolution that starts happening and everybody starts going after the police and SWAT teams, can someone let me know, so I don't have to be like how I was in this dream? Because that shit was crazy. What do you mean you thought you were the law, but the law can't exist with you? That's crazy. Anyways, I was just compelled to share this. Like, I literally felt like I had no other choice. So enjoy. I love you all so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Mwah.